to open after midday on the one-off public holiday to mourn the Queen next Thursday. Premier Peter Malinauskas says it'll be observed like Anzac Day.
We think that strikes the appropriate balance between marking the respect of the occasion, but also allowing the function of stores to be able to continue to trade, and the impact that a closure would have at such short notice on both staff and retailers alike would be difficult to deal with.
He says the government's working with public hospitals to ensure staff shortages don't significantly impact on elective surgery. King Charles III and Queen Consort Camilla have met with Commonwealth representatives at Buckingham Palace. Australia's acting High Commissioner was part of the meeting and also joined the Accession Council at St James's Palace during the new monarch's proclamation. Lynette Wood says she offered her sympathies to the royal family.
I was able to convey personally to their Majesties the condolences of the government and people of Australia. As you know, the King has a deep and broad relationship with Australia, and His Majesty's warmth for our country was evident in our brief conversation this afternoon.
51 computers, phones and other devices have been seized during raids on the homes of child sex offenders across SA. Police searched 267 houses as part of a two-day operation last week. 24 people were arrested for serious breaches, including 13 for possessing child exploitation material, and further charges may be laid. Acting Assistant Commissioner Stephen Taylor says it's disturbing.
It's always concerning, I think, when there's any offending against children, and that's why we adopt the zero tolerance approach. So the message is really clear as far as we're concerned. If somebody is on the register, and there's 2,252 people on the register here in this state, it's very important they comply with the conditions, otherwise we will be paying those people to visit.
Two men will face court after a large number of weapons and guns were found at a Kapunda residence on Thursday. Police uncovered numerous illegal firearms, including 2 semi-automatic rifles, 3 handguns, 6 homemade firearms, a silencer and 4 cannons. Police also uncovered a significant quantity of ammunition, knuckle dusters, a dagger and a baton. It's 200 days since Russia's invasion of Ukraine began. Thousands are dead and millions have been displaced. However, within the last week, Ukrainian forces have launched a counter-offensive, forcing Russian soldiers out of key eastern cities and towns. Sonia Mikak from the Ukrainian Studies Foundation says this week will be written about in history books.
Importantly, many settlements, dozens of towns and villages, and small cities such as Izyum and Kupiansk, and they were actually logistically strategically very important for the Russians. So this is actually this last week has been the week that will go down, I think, in the history books as the turning of the tide.
Now turning to 5AA Sport, a history-making win at the US Open. 19-year-old Carlos Alcaraz has become the youngest tennis player ever to be crowned the men's world #1 after taking out the final. Alcaraz beat Casper Ruud in 4 sets to claim his first Grand Slam title.
This is something that I dreamed of since I was a kid, to be #1 in the world, to be champions of a Grand Slam. This is something that I work really hard.
Jeremy Cameron is confident he'll be playing at 100% fitness during Geelong's prelim final against Brisbane, despite recent hamstring issues.
I feel really good. Pretty much had a week off now. Yeah, I'm feeling fresh. I had a bit of a trot yesterday and I'm excited, so it's a good time of year to be playing footy.
The Cats forward had another light session on the track today, training away from the main group. And the Wallabies admit they need to lift their game or risk being punished by the All Blacks. They're preparing for the Bledisloe Cup Series, which begins in Melbourne on Thursday. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Hawthorn, we've got a burst water main causing delays. That's on Belair Road near Princess Road. Kangarilla Road, damage on Kangarilla Road near Sand Road. That's following a crash, speeds of 25. Slow going at the moment at Fullerton. That's for those intersection works on Cross Road at Fullerton Road. And quite busy at the moment, South Road at Mile End. Cameras keep an eye out for on the drive home, Military Road, Semaphore Park, and Prospect Road at Prospect. Discover opportunities in the down market with CMC Markets Invest, Canstar's online broker of the year. 12 years running. Think invest with CMC Markets. All trading involves risk. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast. A possible shower tonight, a low of 7. Partly cloudy tomorrow, 20. And showers developing on Wednesday, a top of 22. Right now it's 15 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
Thousands line the streets of Scotland for the Queen's cortege. Her Majesty's long journey home begins. Workforce concerns over the National Day of Mourning public holiday. The sentencing process begins for NCA bomber Dominic Perry. The shock results from a police crackdown on child sex offenders. And 21 years since 9/11, Joe Biden's moving words to his nation. I'm Brenton Raglis. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
1395, Adelaide's 5AA. This is Jade Robran. Pet Talk Back with Dr. Derek McNair.
Good afternoon to you, Dr. Derek McNair. How are you going today?
Good afternoon, Jade Robran. Very well, thank you.
You've had a very entertaining, very busy weekend. What you delivered some little puppies.
We did have a busy weekend. We do very few caesareans, probably because most people get their pets desexed now, apart from breeders and stuff. So, but we had the most cutest little pug came in on Saturday, and she was having a bit of difficulty, so we had to give her some assistance to 5 babies. It was very cute.
So does she get an epidural? Does she get gas? What does she get?
She gets a general anaesthetic.
Oh,
yes.
And how many puppies came out?
5.
Wow.
5. So no
That's a lot in a little pug.
Yeah, you could probably do you probably do epidurals, but no, not with dogs. I think they wouldn't be too keen to stay still for long enough.
No. Oh wow! And so they've all gone to a happy, healthy home now.
Yes.
Or?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
And Mum's doing okay.
Yes. Yeah. She's doing good.
I never really even thought about female dogs, bitches having C-sections. You just presume they have their litter and on they go. But I guess they have complications just like the rest of us.
Yes, they do. And I always say, like, a lot of clients will say, I think, my dog should have a litter of puppies. It'll be so nice for her. And 2 things. One is dogs who don't have puppies are still beautiful. So they don't actually need to have puppies to turn them into better dogs. If they're nice dogs at the start, they'll be nice dogs.
Why do people think that?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Yes, lots of people think that, and lots of people sort of tell other people incorrectly that, you should let your female dog have puppies because they'll be more motherly and stuff like that. But, dogs are motherly whether they get puppies or not. But also, that's the other thing I always tell owners if they're thinking of allowing their female dog to have puppies. I say you have to be prepared that it doesn't all go according to plan.
It's hard work.
It is hard work, and I guess the big 2 things that can happen. One is they need a caesarean if things don't go according to plan. A lot of dogs with big heads,
labs.
Not so, a little bit labs, but more like the round head, like bulldogs and pugs and stuff like that. Often need caesareans because their heads get stuck. So yes, you've got to be prepared for your dog to have a caesarean, and then they don't always produce milk. So you might have to get up every 2 hours and bottle feed 5 or 10 puppies, depending how many
my golly.
come along. So it's not always, it's just like with women. It's not always plain sailing. And
well, that's what I'm thinking. 1 baby every 2 hours is enough, let alone 5 mouths to feed.
Yes. So I think before anyone jumps in to that, and people possibly for the wrong reasons because dogs are so expensive at the moment, think, I'll do this and I'll get a few $1,000s per puppy and stuff like this. But yes, it doesn't always go.
Are you seeing that people are trying to cash in a bit?
I don't see very much at all because we sort of encourage all our clients to get their dogs desexed. But yes, I know of cases where that's happened, and
I've been asked for George's seed a couple of times, but it's too late.
Yes.
I'd like to see another little Georgie running around, but no.
No, you get...
But we has had to sign a paper. Well, we signed a contract when we had George that we wouldn't breed him.
Yes.
I mean, she's in Sydney and we're here, so she wouldn't know, but you've got to do the right thing.
Yes, you do. And a lot of breeders do that because they want to control the dogs and they want to control the genetics that they have and do the right thing.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's good. I mean, we were talking a few weeks ago and somebody phoned in about breeders and stuff, and I was saying that, all breeders should have a license number. And the good breeders do get registered.
Yep.
They actually get registered, and then They'll be registered on the breed registry, but, you know, like the old puppy farms, they don't get registered, they're not doing the right things, so we encourage people not to buy puppies from people who are not registered as a breeder. So.
If you would like to talk to Dr. Derek McNair about any of your pet questions, now's the time to give us a buzz. 8223 0000 is the number to call, or you can flick us through a text message 0448 08 1395. But you wanted to have a chat with us about King Charles and Corgi.
Well, I was just looking at the advertising, I saw the cartoon today, and I thought, oh, that's cute. And I've seen it twice, the cartoon movie about the Queen's Corgi. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I haven't.
It's a lovely little film. But yes, now they're all family they're not going from Corgis to King Charles, but they're all family sort of going from Corgis to King Charles. And
I learned about Dorgies because one of the Queen's Corgis mated with Princess Anne's dashhound.
Yes.
So they called it the Dorgies.
The Dorgies,
so there's a couple of...
Yeah, and
that would be an odd-looking dog.
There's a few Dorgies around.
Is there?
Yes.
Oh,
I mean, they both.
They'd be angry little critters.
They both. Not really. I mean,
dashies have got it in them, and don't corgis? Aren't corgis a bit?
Some of them independent.
Okay, that's
stubborn.
That's the nice way. Stubborn.
I'm trying to be the perfect politician here. It's like every breed. You'll get sort of rat bags, and you'll get beautiful ones in every breed. But yes, some dashhounds are a bit important, and some corgis are the same. But you get some beautiful ones as well. So we certainly shouldn't paint them all with the same brush, sort of
stereotype.
Yes,
no.
Yes, exactly.
Well, we'll imagine one being raised in a palace then. The importance of that dog.
What a life! How nice. How nice. Yes.
Let's talk to Kerry, who has called in. Hello, Kerry.
Yeah, hello, guys. I've got a question I'd like to ask the vet about a Devon Rex, which I have just lost, a little 5-month-old Devon Rex. But what happened was he was as good as gold, and then he looked a bit lethargic, so I took him to the vet, and they said, there's something wrong, we're not sure what it is. They looked inside, and its bowel had turned in on itself. What is that? How does it happen? And how often would it happen? But he didn't make it. He operated.
I'm very sorry.
Save him. I was very upset.
I'm sure. The cute little kittens. Yes, they're talking. I think they're talking about what's called an intussusception, where if you imagine.
Yes. That's what it was.
That's what it was. Yes. It's like. Yep. The bowel, if you imagine, is like a big long tube of toothpaste, and it actually moves, and it sort of squeezes everything along it. It's got a nervous system that is out with our control, so that's why you swallow food at one end, and after that you've got no control over what happens to it. So there's this other nervous system we've got that pushes all the food through and digests and stuff like that. And what happens with an intussusception, it's like, not many people would know what a telescope was these days, probably, but yes, it's like a telescope, and when you fold up a telescope, and one bit fits inside the next bit. So what happens, Kerry, is any sort of generally severe irritation can cause the bit of bowel to actually sort of grab the next bit of bowel and push that through itself. So it actually grabs a piece of bowel and it thinks like it's a bit of food, and so it pushes itself through itself, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if I'm making sense. So
what actually irritates it?
Anything can irritate it. It's very uncommon. A severe worm burden can cause it. A cancer or a polyp, which in a 5-month-old kitten would be extremely rare. Sudden change of diet or anything that would give acute diarrhea. Anything that will cause severe irritation to the bowel can cause it. So it's not just one possible cause. There's many different causes, Kerry. So anything that will really irritate the bowel and sort of make it behave a little bit differently, and actually just grabs the next piece of bowel and recognises a piece of food and passes it through itself, and then you get this sort of telescoping of bowel inside bowel. So I can't answer your question 100% as to what caused it in your kitten, but it's generally anything severely irritating and it's pretty well always the small intestine rather than the large intestine. So I don't know what to say. I'm really sorry.
5 months
it's awful.
Thank you, Kerry,
sorry,
for calling
Kerry.
in. And Don and Margaret, stay with us. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back soon.
Everyone at the back, please. Sitting quietly, please. In a circle, thank you. Today we're going to talk about what we'd like to be when we grow up.
A police girl. Race car driver. I want to be a gymnast. I want to be a concreter. With Allied exposed concrete.
I want to be a concreter too.
Me too.
AdelaideExposedConcrete.com.au. Best on ground all year round.
What's a concreter?
Fancy a wine? You'll find a huge hand-picked selection at your local independent SA family liquor store, FIVEAA. Or if you fancy a beer, you'll find the very best local, imported and craft beer at FIVEAA too. But if you fancy spirits, you'll find whiskies, gins and liquors for all tastes at FIVEAA. And you'll find friendly service and advice too. Whatever you fancy, you'll find it at FIVEAA, your local independent SA family liquor stores for over 45 years.
If the team at Lamar Homes were magicians...
Hey, presto!
They'd be terrible at it. Because they have nothing to hide. When you build with Lamar Homes, there's no secrets, no smoke and mirrors, and you can view your home at any stage, just to make sure you're happy with everything. Some builders won't let you do that. Not Lamar. LamarHomes.com.au. Here today, home tomorrow.
What's got Mike singing? Mike just got an energy-efficient heat pump installed by EcoVantage. Not only is it using nearly 80% less energy than his old hot water system and saving hundreds off his power bills, he got it for free. Thanks to federal and SA government incentives, you can get your own energy-efficient heat pump from just $0. Pump your energy bills down with EcoVantage. Visit ecovantage.com.au.
I'm high!
There's nothing like coming home to your local, the Excelsior Hotel, especially if it's a Thursday. Because Thursdays, the Excelsior takes $10 off all steaks. So choose any steak, cooked just the way you like it, and the Excelsior will knock $10 off the price. And don't forget happy hour 4 to 6 p.m. weekdays and 12 to 6 p.m. Saturdays. The Excelsior Hotel feels like coming home, but better. You just know it's a Barreau Hotel.
We open our doors to people we trust and care about. And for over 85 years, South Australians have been opening their doors to Rest Haven. In turn, we've been opening doors to an easier, better life at home. From personal care to help with the shopping and social outings, you'll welcome the care that Rest Haven brings.
Jade Robran on 1395, Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Welcome back to Pet Talk with Dr. Derek McNair. We've got Don on the line from Seaview Downs. G'day, Don.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Dr. Derek, a couple of weeks ago you mentioned about giving dogs chicken necks.
Yes.
The breeder told me to give her chicken necks, but what I do is I get out the kitchen scissors and I cut them up to 6 or 7 pieces.
Yes.
Do you have a problem with that?
No. What sort of dog do you have, Don?
It's a poodle, mate.
Okay. No, probably not. I mentioned it before because I've had 2 dogs brought into my clinic dead because they've choked on a chicken neck. Both little dogs, like cavoodle type things. So small dogs. And so some dogs don't chew their food as well as they should do. And these dogs had obviously basically just sort of swallowed and gulped down the chicken neck without chewing it up. And it got stuck at the back of the throat.
Yeah, well, I cut them up at least to 6 or 7 pieces.
Yes.
And then she does really chew them.
Yes. Yeah. If she really chews them and they're that small, yes, they're not going to get, or the chances are they're not going to get stuck. I've had probably about one dog every 20 years, which is not a lot. You'll get a bit of bone stuck in the esophagus, and that can be a bit of a problem. But I'm still a fan of bones. I think they cause more good than they cause harm. But I also like chicken wings and chicken carcasses and great big bones that that dogs cannot sort of get into their mouth, so they can't swallow it all in one. But yes, cutting up the chicken neck should be fine, Don. Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Don. We've got Margaret from Parafield, and if you'd like to ask Dr. Derek a question, 8223 0000 is the number to call. The phone lines are open. Hi, Margaret.
Hi, how you going?
Good.
I was just going to confirm with Dr. Derek about how a female dog will bond.
Yes.
Mine, I've got actually she's a rescue red heeler, and my friend has got a store and he sells chickens. One was blind. He said, I can't sell it. Do you want it? It's only 12 weeks old.
Yes.
She's adopted it, and I do mean she's adopted it.
The chicken.
And there's the chicken, yeah. And I'll tell you what, everywhere, no one does anything. And I turn around, where's Henny Penny? She brings her back to me, and that hen is grooming the blanky dog.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, they're beautiful. So she is absolutely, and when she laid her first egg, oh my God, you thought someone had killed her. The dog went berserk. Mum, look, Mum, what's happened? She was gone berserk.
What's come out of my friend?
Yeah, something's happened. Mum, come on, you've got to come quick. It was, and she's absolutely, everything. She's with her. First thing in the morning, she's got to check right. She comes out of her yard and she makes sure she goes into bed of a night. She's totally devoted to her.
That is cool. You need to send in some photos and some videos. But I mean, so the rescue dog probably hasn't had any puppies, has she?
No, she was. What I said was, I'm her fifth owner.
Oh dear.
And she's only 3 years old now.
Oh, darling, good.
She had a hard life.
Yes.
Because she got one toe missing and a few other things that So she's had a hard life, but it's just sort of, it's like, hey, well, you've rescued me, and that. But I sort of thought, here I go now.
That's very nice. I mean, there's a lot. I've seen many photos over my time of dogs and cats, and the dogs basically mother the cats and mother the kittens. So, but yes, I can't remember having a dog mothering her chooks. That's very
brilliant. They make movies about things like that.
That's very good, Margaret. You should, if you get photos and videos, send them into FIVEAA here, and we can have a look at them.
Yeah, okay, I would. Actually, I showed the owner, the guy that gave it to me. I said, the dogs had pups. What? I said, well, she had one pup. What do you mean? I said, yeah, it's the bloody chicken. It's a joke. And I said, and he was the size of the dog, and there's the flipping, and he was devoted. Sit in the sun. The two of them are in the sun together.
Red heelers are lovely dogs, and they crave affection, so that's very nice.
And the chook grooms the dog.
Yeah, the dog sits down next to him. There's the chook, and particularly, evidently, she doesn't do well underneath the collar. So the chook said, going through the collar, you've missed this bit here, like a mother fussing over a kid because they didn't wash behind their ears.
Cute. It's like Milo and Otis, but the chook, Milo and chook.
That's very
That's
cute.
Really
that's very
sweet,
good.
Margaret. Please send us a video. We'd love to see that. We've got Rick in Anglevale. Hello, Rick.
Yeah, Derek, Jade. Dr. Derek, I've got a Maltese Shih Tzu that's about 7 years old.
Yes.
He stays indoors during the day.
Mm-hmm.
We have a doggy door that goes out to the back, and he uses it quite frequently.
Yes.
But not frequently enough. He's actually doing his number ones throughout the house every now and then. We've never seen him do it. We just walk through and whoops, wet patch. So we can't understand, like a nice day like today, the back door's open so he can get in and out.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it's like he's too bloody lazy, and he just says, this will do.
Yeah. So when you say he does it every now and again, how often is he doing it?
It's hard to say, probably 2, 3, 4 times a week.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Yeah, so we don't know why he's doing it. He has been desexed.
When did he start doing it?
He's been doing it now for the last few months, but we've never seen him. We've never ever seen him do it.
Okay.
We just come home and find the results.
And is he doing it in lots and lots of different spots?
Yes, he is. Yeah, sometimes he might go into the bathroom and he might just do a number one on the vanity unit, or he might even just do it in his bed.
He does it. He did it in his bed.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's not incontinent, you don't think?
I don't think. I'm not sure. I don't know whether he's actually got I don't know whether he'd have a bladder infection or anything.
Yeah, it's unusual. It's unusual for dogs to wee in their bed. I mean, that's often one of the tricks we use, is put them in a small area, put their bed there, put their food there, and they tend to not want to do that. I'd probably do. There's a few things you can try. I'm not 100% sure whether we can solve it very quickly. I would catch a urine sample and certainly take it along to your vet. Maybe go along to your vet and just get them to check if a feel of his bladder and his kidneys, make sure that's all okay. If he's incontinent, then there's some medication called propylene that usually helps male dogs with incontinence. So you could even try that for a short time to see if that made any difference. It's tricky. Trying to find out the reason why he's doing it is the best way to try and solve the problem. But when there isn't an obvious reason, often if dogs have got a fright out in the garden, if there's a dog next door that's barked at them, if something funny's happened, and they get a bit anxious about going outside. So then we'll often try various types of anti-anxiety medication to encourage them to go outside. But also you need to make sure you clear up their wee using stuff called urine off, which will neutralise the smell, because often if dogs can smell that they've been to the toilet somewhere and you've just used a commercial disinfectant to clean it up, then they often think that another dog has actually weed where they've weed, and that encourages them to go there again. So get something called urine off to clear it up, get the urine checked, maybe get some propylene as a trial, and go and talk to your vet and see, and keep a diary as well of how often it's happening and where he's going, just in case any pattern emerges with that as well, Rick.
Let's chat with Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, yes, hi, Jade. Hi, Dr. Derek.
Hello.
I just wanted to ask you, I think we have a King Charles Spaniel, and she...
Hold on, we'll all bow now. We'll all bow.
That's right, it's a Queen's dog.
Yeah, we'll all bow. Yeah.
She's pretty special. But over the years, she's 9 years old, but over the years she has occasionally having trouble breathing, and we find that it's worse at night.
Mm-hmm.
And now, when it was not very often that she did it, now we're finding every night she'll wake up through the night and scream her head off as if she's panicking that she can't breathe, and it's very frightening for everyone. And we've been told by a vet that she could have an operation, but she may end up with a permanent breathing tube out of her throat. And we're just wondering, at 9, is that something we really should go ahead and have done? She recently had some teeth taken out. She had some dental work done, and they told us that her windpipe was very narrow.
Yes.
And it would be awful for her to be not able to breathe properly. I mean, through the day, she seems to be okay. We never take her for a long walk because she can't handle it. But at night time, we've noticed it's nearly every night now she'll have an episode where she just screams her head off. It sounds like she's very frightened.
Okay, she's not screaming at all during the day?
No.
Okay, and when your vet says she's got a small windpipe, did he mention anything about the length of her soft palate?
He said it was very long. It was extended.
Yes.
And
okay.
And that's what they said. The operation could be. They could do an operation on that.
Yes. Yeah. I would probably. And she hasn't got a heart murmur.
I believe she does have a heart murmur.
But
she's never been a very healthy dog, really.
Right.
She's never been able to handle walking long distance. She also has little mini fits all day. Her little head, she looks like she zones out, and she sometimes falls over and falls over on her side sometimes. But other than that, she's a lovely little dog, and she seems quite happy. But and like if she sees a cat, she'll run and act like a very normal dog.
Okay.
But it's just at night now, we're noticing every night now she's having this episode, and it's really worrying us.
Yes, yeah.
Poor little thing.
I know. If she's actually screaming because, and that's what I can't get right in my own mind, why she's sort of screaming at night time. If it's because of a breathing problem, then yes, the shortening of the soft palate. I would probably think of, there's a few excellent surgeons around Adelaide. I'd probably get a referral to one of them, because the shortening of the soft palate should not result in any tube down the throat or anything like that. It's an operation that usually, if that's the only problem, if the windpipe, the trachea, is of a large enough diameter, most times with the King Charles Cavaliers, it's the extended soft palate that causes the breathing problem, and you actually just cut a bit off the end of it, and everything is much, much, much improved. And so if that's what's causing the screaming, then shortening the soft palate is usually a really good operation. It's not that tricky. I haven't done one for years, so I wouldn't attempt one now. So I would send you to someone else, but there's some wonderful surgeons around the place that it's a piece of cake for them. So I would chat to your vet about maybe getting a referral, Vanessa, for that surgery.
Good luck, Vanessa, and great to see you as always, Dr. Derek.
Thank you very much.
This is Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamarek. Shops in SA will be allowed to open after midday on the one-off public holiday to mourn the Queen next Thursday. 51 computers, phones and other devices have been seized during raids on the homes of child sex offenders across SA. Thousands are dead and millions have been displaced as 200 days tick by since Russia invaded Ukraine. And Geelong forward Jeremy Cameron is playing down concerns over a recent injury. A possible shower tonight, a low of 7, partly cloudy tomorrow 20. Currently it's 15 degrees. More news at 4 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
He's the king of breakfast TV and the chairman of The Power. And each Monday, David Kosh joins David and Will on 5AA Breakfast.
First ever AFLW game at Alberton.
Yeah, it was just a terrific day. We've been there since 1880. And this was the first time a professional female team had played for the club there. It was just a bit of history in the making. The girls really played well, so it was a great day.
Catch Koshy each Monday on 5AA Breakfast.
Hi, it's David Penberthy here with Martin Penny from Paint Professionals. Is it true that your dad actually painted for the royal family?
Yes, my father was handpicked to paint the Queen's bedroom, Charles and Di's honeymoon suite. Whether you're in Wayville or Morfett Vale or Springfoot or Glenelg, it really doesn't matter. To us, everybody deserves that same treatment.
So get your whole home painted or just a room. Get in touch like we did with Marty and his incredible team at Paint Professionals. Visit paintprofessionals.com.au. Paint Professionals, brush with the best.
You've heard of craft beers, sour beers, hoppy beers, malty beers, wild yeast beers, Rolling Stone beers, Indian Pale beers and homebrew beers. But do you ever want just beer? Every Friday at 7:22, Just Beer is just $5. And for just $5, it's always just as cold, just as frothy and just as tasty. Just like always. Just a pub the way it's meant to be, with classic favourites on tap for just $5 every Friday. Visit 722 Bar and Bistro, Port Road, Beverley.
Our pets can be such a comfort, and to some of us, they really are part of the family. So, to show them you care, head into your local Cheapest Chips for amazing catalogue deals out this Wednesday. With the warm weather, pets are itching to play outside. When you can't keep an eye on them, a galvanised pet enclosure can keep them out of mischief for just $329. Call into your nearest Cheapest Chips to grab the huge Catsby Alinda Cat Treehouse, every cat's dream, for just $129, and quick release Pooper Scoopers are just $18. There's loads of great pet food buys like Sparky's Pork Oinkers, only $5.99 each, or pick up Dine cat food tins, only $1.25 each. Get to your local Cheapest Chips for amazing catalogue deals out this Wednesday. Even pets live cheaper every day at Cheapest Chips.
Nothing beats a road trip. For those who are heading out on the road to explore our own backyard, here's a travel tip from RAA's Mark Borlace. Hi, Mark.
Hi, David. RAA's car advice service can give you peace of mind with advice on just about anything related to the car, like setting yourself up for a safe and easy tow or checking if you have the right level of road service for your needs.
And what about electric vehicles? We're seeing more and more of them on the roads.
Well, RAA is leading the charge with EV innovations. South Australian motorists can expect the same high level of service from our road service fleet, and in the near future, a team of independent RAA-approved repairers will be EV ready to keep you moving.
Thanks for that, Mark. So whether you've upgraded to an EV or are cruising in your current vehicle, before you head out on your next road trip to do the fun stuff, let RAA take care of the car stuff. Search RAA Motor for more. RAA-approved repairers are independent service providers, not agents of RAA. Terms and conditions apply. Available from RAA.
It's one hell of a ute. The LDV T60 Max 4x4 diesel with 160 kilowatts from just $34,990 for ABN holders. Visit a dealer today. LDV, bring it on. T's and C's and exclusions at ldvautomotive.com.au.
Jade Robran, talking Adelaide on 1395 5AA.
Welcome back to Afternoons, and he's back from the showgrounds, Timmy G.
Only just. Well,
Have
I
you
tell
got
you
my
what, I was
birdie
tempting
beetle?
to stay. Oh, I went crazy. I went absolutely crazy because I saw this deal. It was 3 bags for 3 bags for $12.
Oh,
and so
bargain.
yeah, well, I got $48 worth of those.
They saw you
I was walking
coming.
back with all these bags.
I thought your
Yes.
guns are looking a bit bigger.
Well, that's because of that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Have the show bags on each arm. I like it.
And I bought the Foodland bag because that's great value for $20, and I bought I always get a Charlesworth one as well. So I was carrying all that back, and then got them home. And
Because every dad loves his nuts.
And you know what I loved about this? I got all these bags, and I plonked them on the table, and the family there, and all the rest of it. And I'm thinking, hero, and they go, "Oh, where's the Fluorio one?"
Oh, come on.
All right, I'll go back tomorrow and get that.
Go down to Foodland and buy some.
No, I did catch the Fluorio boys at the show and bought one of the bags, which was great value as well.
Pavilion. All the food.
The taste. My Lord, it was everywhere.
Delicious.
Yeah. So, talking about taste, we've got a taste of finals. It just keeps happening, doesn't it? And the games are terrific. I mean, Collingwood, I think, outclassed Freo in the end. But the Melbourne-Brisbane game was another cracking game. And Brisbane have upset them.
That is not the script that I think anyone saw.
No. And they did it tough because, it looked like at times Melbourne had control of the game, but it was a half-time move when they put Berry onto Oliver that the game sort of turned and he started to work him over.
Out.
Well, an eye for an eye, perhaps. Could be the way you look at that one. But
so when does that tribunal happen?
Well, I think tomorrow night.
Oh,
and
right.
Interestingly that he got a game. I'm going to bring this up with Rowie tonight. I saw an incident last week with a Melbourne player, Harms, just went straight through Lloyd. Right?
Yes.
How did he not get a game?
I agree.
They
If
just
you
said,
look
"Oh,
at those
fine,
two
moved on."
incidences, no, Berry's off.
Thank you. One was far more dangerous.
Correct.
And deliberate.
Correct.
And you're going and wasn't being attacked or
Berry
provoked.
was a scratch, whereas the one previously was a full gouge.
Yes.
Which is, they're both uncool. I hate when players do that. I think it's really
he did have
ugly.
an elbow in his throat.
Well,
so there's
eye for an eye.
We're back to that. But yeah, it's going to be good because I think he's so important to the team.
Oh yeah.
So they're going to fight hard to get him off, and if they can, that'd be good for Brisbane supporters because they just keep surprising. Now they've not had a great finals record, but this final series they are surprising, and they've won 2 already. Can they keep going? Can they upset
they're
Geelong?
flying under the radar. There's no pressure. I mean, what have they got to lose this week?
Yeah. And on the other side, you've got Sydney who surprised everybody by getting in there home final, but Collingwood just seemed to make things happen.
Who do you think?
Look, if I had to put your hard-earned on it, if I had to put my show bags on it, I'm probably going to a Collingwood-Geelong grand final.
Oh, wouldn't Gill just be frothing over that?
Absolutely would. Absolutely would. But you never know. This final series has kept delivering surprises, and I think it will again. So.
I don't like the 4 o'clock starts.
No, it's at 4 a.m. You're doing breakfast radio.
Correct. I don't like the 4 p.m.
It's a bit awkward, isn't it?
Nah.
It's a bit awkward.
Well, you're still cooking the barbecue. You want to, entertain. You're still coming back from kids' sport, all of that sort of thing. Yep. And you're like, oi, the footy started. It should be that 7 o'clock start.
All right.
Anyway, no one's going to listen to that.
I'll make a call.
Okay. Thank you.
Leave it with me.
Who were you talking to tonight?
Well, we're talking to lots of people. We've got some Samford. We're covering off, obviously, the big prelim yesterday, but the grand final this week, Norwood v North. So we'll cover that off. We've also got young Yasmin Dersma, who is
cool.
Xavier Dersma's sister. And she made her debut for the Port team in the AFLW,
Did she
which
go
was terrific.
as well?
She didn't get the opportunity yet, but I'm
wonder if
sure
she
that
does.
if she ever does, you never know, might come out the other side. Who knows?
Shoot the arrow.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Beautiful, mate.
much.
Hooroo.
The Sports Show with Timmy G and Rowie coming up after 4 o'clock. Let's talk now with Shane A. Bassett, our entertainment correspondent. Shane, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Jade. Happy Monday. It's unusual speaking to you so early in the week, but there's a good reason for it. I'm pretty pumped up for tomorrow.
The 74th Annual Emmy Awards. It kicks off awards season, which is very exciting. I think it starts around 9:30 a.m. Adelaide time, so we'll be able to keep across it. But talk to us about what's hot, what's not.
Well, what's hot is, I don't know, I think it's going to be the favourite. We have Succession, which has the most nominations with 25. That's just huge. Ted Lasso and The White Lotus both have 20 each, and I'm a big fan of The White Lotus.
Okay.
And I'm a fan of Only Murders in the Building. That and Hacks have both got 17 nominations all up, and that's kind of huge. There's lots of others there, like Squid Game, that people are saying are going to rule this award ceremony because it is such left field nominations, but it's going to be good to see the Aussies, the three main ones especially, Toni Collette, Murray Bartlett and Sarah Snook, all go for their individual nominations.
Now, Sarah Snook is in Succession. What is Succession? I've never watched it.
It's about a family, about a big business family and all the things that happen behind the scenes, a lot of chaos and lying and corruption that goes on. Brian Cox, he's the patriarch of the group, and it just is a really broad cast, and it's been around now for about 4 or 5 seasons, and it just keeps on winning, and that's why it has the most nominations with 25. It's a bit of a flawless show, and each series goes through different eras of where they're moving towards. I do believe, though, they're finishing it after one more season, so Succession fans will know this already, but if you haven't caught up with it, it's an addictive show. Once you start watching a few episodes, it's one of those ones that you want to keep watching.
I dropped a bomb. The whole world is watching for my next move.
You're the #1 trending topic, ahead of tater tots, and the Pope followed you.
Wow.
Okay, no, this is not is this the real?
Right.
No,
Great.
I don't
Thanks,
think this
Greg.
is a Pope.
My family have disappeared. I need to know where everyone is and what everyone's thinking.
There he is, the little man who started this big war.
Right now, I'm the real you.
Sure, and I'm the real you. You sound deranged.
I like the sound of that one. And do you know what I love? I love Ted Lasso.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You and many others. It's another show that it makes you feel good. It gives you a big smile on your face when you watch it, and you know that. And I'm not so much of a soccer fan, even though the storyline revolves around soccer. It's just different. It's just all about being kind and getting to know people. And Jason Sudeikis, this show has won so many awards already, and I'm not surprised it's up for so many awards again.
The Ted Lasso welcome wagon has arrived. So, you're heavily favoured this weekend. You think this will end your embarrassing streak of draws?
Lloyd, I've never been embarrassed about having streaks in my draws. You know, it's all part of growing up. I got a question for you. Has a team like us ever won the whole chimichanga?
Not for 40 years.
Oh! No, you don't coming through here. That's fine. Yeah, I got you. It's like Dukes of Hazzards. Y'all probably call it the Earls of Risk over here.
We got work to do.
I think it's time for these young fellas to meet that guy.
Oh, no. But that's up.
Hey, you little turd birds! Start touching your toes! And touch each other's toes!
What? How long was that?
Not as long as last time, but nobody was hurt.
Okay. People saying there's something wrong with us. Not the way I see it. I believe in communism. Rom communism, that is. If Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan can go through some heartfelt struggles and still end up happy, then so can we.
Oh, I love him. Is it coming back for a 3rd season?
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Apple, it's an exclusive Apple show. It's one of their big ones, so it just makes me laugh listening to that dialogue.
And for those that don't know, it's about this American guy who was sent over to coach a soccer team, doesn't know anything about soccer in the UK, and he was meant to fail, but he actually doesn't. And then it's about relationships, and it's just really sweet. If you haven't downloaded it, it's one that you get addicted to pretty quickly. So what are you thinking with Toni Collette, Murray Bartlett and Sarah Snook? Do you think we could take an Aussie gong at the Emmys?
It's tough. Toni Collette in particular, I think she's a strong chance out of the other two. But she's up against Margaret Qualley, who's the daughter of Andy McDowell, and they're in a Netflix series called Made. And Margaret Qualley is absolutely outstanding, as is Toni Collette in The Staircase. So she's my favourite out of the three Aussies. Sarah Snook, her category's stacked. She's up against Christina Ricci and Julia Garner and Patricia Arquette, all previous winners for different things. And I just believe that that's going to be the toughest category. But Sarah Snook for Succession has had plenty of accolades, and people would love to see her win, including us, of course. And Murray Bartlett, well, it's funny because everyone except for Seth Rogen in that category is from the show he's also nominated for, The White Lotus. It's quite popular show. And Murray Bartlett, it's kind of like a breakout role for him, and people are now talking about him. He's getting a lot more Hollywood jobs coming up, more shows and movies coming soon. But I think he's an option. He could win, but Seth Rogen in Pam and Tommy was also brilliant. So Toni Collette out of the three is probably my tip to be the winner.
Watch this space, and we may touch base again tomorrow. Thank you very much for the update.
Looking forward to it. I'll have a glass of champagne for you in the morning. And talk to you in the afternoon.
Sounds fantastic. A very happy Shane A. Bassett will join us. Thank you kindly. We're going to take a short break. You're listening to Adelaide's 5AA.
Each week on the 5AA Sports Show, Rowie invites some of his pals from the world of sport onto the show for a chat. Thanks to Pals, Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life's better with your pals.
Like shocks shooting through your body.
That's how some people describe their shingles pain. Shingles is caused by the reactivation of the chickenpox virus. While most people recover fully, up to 25% may experience long-term complications.
I had to cancel all my plans and struggled to work.
Up to 1 in 3 people risk developing shingles in their lifetime.
If you're 50 or over, don't let shingles affect your plans.
Talk to your doctor for more information. Individual symptoms may vary. Sponsored by GlaxoSmithKline Australia, Melbourne.
Get comfortable at work with Officeworks Furniture. With ergonomic chairs from just $149. Or sit and stand desk risers from just $98. Great value products, always low prices at Officeworks.
When you need a plumber, you need them right away. As in today. Give Ken a call. Ken Hall Plumbers, your local plumbers since 1983. On time, every time, at a time that suits you. Give Ken a call. 8364 5855.
Cruises with Princess are on sale now with Phil Hoffman Travel. Choose from 2 to 35 night itineraries, sailing across Australia, New Zealand, South Pacific, Japan, Europe, Alaska and more. Book now to receive up to 30% off launch fares, plus receive up to $300 onboard spending money. Select cruises only. T's and C's apply. Secure your stateroom today. Phil Hoffman Travel, proudly South Australian and here for you. Visit pht.com.au.
The St John Christmas Home Lottery is back with South Australia's biggest grand prize ever. The $5 million grand prize includes a fully furnished, luxurious North Adelaide residence, a stunning beachfront holiday home overlooking the breathtaking Encounter Bay, plus $1 million cash. All tickets also go into the huge weekly draws where you could win cars, cash, holidays and more. Buy your tickets now at stjohnlottery.com.au. Licence number M14265.
Introducing the Kia Cars of the Year. The Kia Cars of the Year. The fully electric Kia EV6. The Wheels Car of the Year. And the Drive Car of the Year, the Kia Sportage. To pick your side in this sibling rivalry, visit kia.com.au.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Whether you're on the job site, in transit or in the workshop, you need to know all your tools are protected and secure. And that's what Milwaukee's Packout Modular Storage System does. Milwaukee's Packout is constructed to withstand harsh job site environments. And now with the new mounting solutions, you can customise your tool storage. With compact and large mounting plates and a range of hooks, racks and holders, Packout makes storage across the job site, while in transit and in the workshop, versatile, durable and secure. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
$13.95, Adelaide's 5AA. This is Jade Robran.
Welcome back to Afternoons. Well, Cabinet met this morning to chat about the last-minute public holiday to mourn the Queen, which is scheduled for September 22. Now, interestingly, New Zealand has scheduled their day of mourning for September 26, which is a Monday, making it a long weekend for the folk in New Zealand. Now, it really has drawn mixed reaction, this National Day of Mourning. A lot of people are all for respecting the Queen and commemorating a remarkable life, but a lot are also saying, you know what, this is really thrown a bit of a cog in the works. Shops will be closed until midday, but an exemption would allow larger shops to open from noon to 9 p.m. Now, a lot of people that are scheduled for surgery, that will also cause disruptions, and working parents that have got children in school or childcare, what do they do? We've got a lot of mixed reactions coming through, including this one. Jade, what a dumb day for a public holiday. Saturday would have been much better choice than Thursdays. Most doctors, surgeons don't operate on Saturday unless it's an emergency. Whoever made this decision definitely did not think it through. Another one here from Tom. Hi, Jade. I am genuinely respectful of the Queen's passing and the need to commemorate a remarkable life of service and leadership, but a public holiday is not the ideal solution. This is a weak and easy decision from the ALP and federally, and disappointing that our Premier has supported it. He has talked about being the pro-business Labor Premier, a new approach, but this decision is just bureaucracy for the sale of it. This will cost employers and the economy whom can't afford it the wrong decision. We've got Josh Peake from the Workers' Union on the line. Josh, thanks so much for your time. What are your thoughts on the planned public holiday?
Oh, look, I think it's not very common. I mean, indeed, it hasn't been 70 years since the head of state for the country's changed, and it's obviously a significant event, and there are many people that are wanting to mourn in an appropriate sense the passing of Queen Elizabeth. And look, we think this is appropriate. We do support the declaration of the day being a public holiday, and we also think that the compromise solution on shop trading hours is the right one as well, where we will have some form of closure to acknowledge the significance of the day, but then we are conscious that it is unusual for a public holiday, and indeed, as a result, trading hours to be altered at such short notice, and so still enabling most of the trade to occur as normal from 12 noon is about right. I mean, our clear message, though, is to make sure that particularly, those, the employers are really clear about what their obligations are here, and the first one, that it being a public holiday, it does entitle workers to the day off without loss of pay, and no one should be forced to work against their will. And those that are continuing to work as normal next Thursday, the pay will be double time and a half for most workers who are casual, and 225% for permanent staff. And it is really important that employers take steps to make sure they get those obligations right. I mean, obviously, it's short notice. I understand there's going to have to be some alternative arrangements put in place, but we just need to really make sure that those steps are taken properly.
Well, extraordinary circumstances we are talking about here, but do you expect most stores to open, or do you think there'll be a significant amount that keep their doors shut?
Well, I think most will continue to trade. It's a particularly busy week next week for the grocery sector. Next Saturday is AFL Grand Final Day. That is a busy week in the retail sector. There's lots of people hitting the shops and hitting supermarkets in the lead up to that day. So I think we'll see complete trading right across our grocery sector. I mean, that was obviously important to make sure that we get the balance right in relation to trading hours. And then, of course, for the Adelaide suburb, Thursday night continues to be quite a busy night as a sort of form of tradition. So, again, we expect that the Thursday night trade will continue in the Adelaide suburbs, and the night will be pretty busy. Again, for those people that do want to have the day off, if they're a permanent employee, they get the right to having that day off without loss of pay. It's important that employers take steps to give people that opportunity. The trading hours exemptions that's granted normally comes with it a requirement that shops can only open if work is voluntary, and so breaching that is quite a significant fine. So we really encourage all employers to make sure they do the right thing.
Josh Peake, thank you very much for your time. That is all we've got time for today. Coming up afterwards, the Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G. Have a fantastic afternoon. Bye for now.
For a unique take on everything happening in SA, join Matthew Abraham each Thursday with David and Will.
If you want to look at strings attached,